Why is the press and the palace refusing to look or comment or report on Meghan Markle's links to the same individual? And most importantly, her relationship, her close personal relationship with Prince Andrew.
And this is sweet. Meghan Markle said she has a finger they can use if they need it.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time? There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her early 20s. Wow.
It is interesting how she's exposing her as a yacht girl, someone who was paid off by rich men to go and hang out.
It was suggested that the then Meghan Markle likely spent time with Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein before she even met Prince Harry.
Why aren't they pushing this nuclear button and just let the world know about Meghan Markle?
It was supposed to be just another chill Saturday night until everything blew up. Colin stared dead into the SNL camera and dropped a punchline that didn't just land, it detonated.
The one person who I think has been really happy about all of this is Prince Andrew.
Yeah, boy.
The one person who I think has been really happy about all of this is Prince Andrew. I'm guessing that he has been nudging the royal family. Can you believe what Meghan did, huh? Can you believe it?
You know, I mean, she used to be on Deal or No
infiltrated?
Deal. Look, she was on Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, I brought Meghan Markle, whatever her name is, to my Deal or No Deal celebrity golf tournament. She was one of my Deal or No Deal girls that were, she was a caddy for all of my celebrities.
He joked that one of the terms in Trump's new UK trade deal is that we send Meghan Markle back. And for a moment, the whole room froze. Silence, then chaos. The audience cracked up, gasping between laughter because, once again, Meghan had become the punchline everyone understood but nobody expected. Then Colin doubled down. No, I refuse. I'm sick of it, but only if she deletes her entire Instagram. Boom! The crowd roared even louder. Twitter lit up like wildfire.
We again highlight the mucky murkiness and mendacious manner of this alleged yacht girl. According to Urban,
of Meghan Markle's alleged, rumoured yacht.
Do you think your sister, Meghan Markle, has ruined Prince Harry?
The answer is yes. I mean, every single interview, every single picture, every place they go, Meghan grabs him. Meghan controls him. Meghan tells him no. Meghan stands in front of him. She controls every single situation like she is the star.
Just here it comes. Reopen British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return.
Within minutes, headlines were everywhere. But in Montecito, things weren't so funny. Sources say Meghan was livid. Think wine glass, marble counter, and a sudden crash. Because this wasn't just another celebrity jab. This one cut deep. It wasn't about her politics or her past. It was about her brand. The brand she's been fighting to protect, week after week, as her image keeps slipping through her fingers. And while the crowd laughed, sharp-eyed viewers knew this wasn't just comedy. It was a warning.
He knows that Meghan Markle was a hoe. He knows that Meghan Markle had a relationship with Prince Andrew. He knows that he is stuck in California. He knows he has wrecked his life with a D-list mattress actress.
And it seems like that lady is a temptress. She's a siren. She's lured him into the rocks.
That joke wasn't harmless. It was a signal flare, a public test balloon to see who'd dare laugh first. And Colin? He might have just opened a door that others were too scared to touch.
Later in the press conference, a reporter asked Trump about Meghan Markle, and this is what he had to say about her.
I'm not a fan of hers, and she probably has heard that, but I wish a lot of luck to Harry, because he's going to need it.
Wow. Who had Meghan Markle on their random Trump insults bingo card? Anyone? If you're keeping track, Meghan Markle's got beef with the Queen of England and the President of the United States.
But before the echo of his words even faded, the internet came swinging back. Just days after Colin's mic drop moment, a string of grainy but suspiciously well-framed photos started surfacing online. The setting? A sun-drenched yacht somewhere off Europe's glittering coast.
Nasty, and says he feels sorry for Prince Harry because his wife is a lot to deal with.
And then the wife convinces you to leave the royal family. Like, I'm out. I don't need you guys. Which is crazy, because don't you just get free money?
The late Virginia Roberts wanted to call Meghan Markle as a witness, and she said it was exactly because Meghan Markle was a close past associate of Prince Andrew and would have seen or participated or been around whatever he was doing. Why isn't the press calling this out?
A small circle of powerful men, champagne glasses in hand, staff hovering nearby, and in the center, a woman in luxury swimwear, her hair flawless, her laugh effortless. The resemblance was uncanny. Reddit, TikTok, and X went into full detective mode, analyzing everything: wrist tattoos, sunglasses, timestamps, even belly button placement.
President Trump also announced a new trade deal with the UK. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
No! No! I refuse! I'm sick of—
And the verdict came fast. Too fast. That's Meghan, no question. One comment read and thousands agreed. This wasn't some grainy throwback from 2002. It looked recent, crisp, and way too perfectly staged to be a random leak.
Marrying the monarchy, what did you think it was going to be like?
Well, I didn't do any research about what that would mean.
You didn't do any research?
No. I've never looked up my husband online.
What? Let me introduce you to this thing called Google, okay? Over there, I think it's called Lori. It's full of useful information. For instance, turns out your husband knew Princess Di. That might have been a hint that this was going to be a rough gig. So while you're Googling, you might want to try the combo Andrew, Island, and Epstein.
But what truly set the internet ablaze wasn't the yacht photos themselves. It was the timing. These images dropped right as Meghan was pushing her new rose wine, teasing a glossy documentary, and trying to polish up her rebrand. Yet the second those photos hit the timeline, the whispers came roaring back louder than ever.
Karina Shulia was Jeffrey Epstein's last known girlfriend. She is on record saying that the only times she flew on a plane, went on a yacht, or whatever was with her boyfriend, Jeffrey Epstein. And here we have Rachel Meghan Markle parading on a yacht since 2014.
Retire, bitch!
Her clean new image started cracking in real time, and everyone could see it, because the real danger wasn't what the photos showed, it was what they hinted at. For years, Meghan sold an idea, a lifestyle. She wasn't just an actress or a duchess, she was the brand. The filtered Instagram queen with avocado toast mornings and minimalist yoga poses at sunrise. A whole movement built on the illusion of peace, discipline, and manifesting your dream life.
Girl past set to be exposed in a new documentary that's finally going to air next month. Let's put it this way, I smell a scared look.
But when those yacht photos surfaced, everything clashed. That wasn't a college girl on spring break. It was a woman deep in her Suits era, supposedly building her image as the strong, sophisticated humanitarian. So why did these photos tell a completely different story? Why did they look so recent, so intentional? Online sleuths went wild, saying the pics were snapped sometime during her Suits fame, right when Meghan was branding herself as the clean-cut, cause-driven role model. And that's when people started asking the hard questions. Why does the timeline feel wrong? One user wrote.
The pictures are there. We can all see them. Why isn't anybody questioning this?
But others said it wasn't about dates. It was about branding, because suddenly her story didn't line up anymore. You can't preach purity and empowerment while sipping rosé on a billionaire's yacht surrounded by powerful men and picture-perfect lighting. And yet there it was. High-definition proof spreading across every feed, impossible to contain. The truth? This was never just about partying or privilege. It was about perception.
NBC has announced plans for a spin-off to the hit series Suits, which will be set in Los Angeles. It will focus on Meghan Markle's character's struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed immigrant.
Meghan didn't just marry into royalty, she crafted it. Every quote, every interview, every photo was part of the persona she wanted the world to believe in. But these leaked photos? They weren't in the plan, and they just shattered the illusion she spent years building. And the deeper people zoomed in, the more cracks they claimed to see in Meghan's picture-perfect past. What once looked flawless suddenly seemed rehearsed.
Meghan Markle was also a close associate of Jeffrey Epstein.
The official story didn't feel airtight anymore, at least not to the growing crowd dissecting every pixel, every pose, every shadow in those images. I've seen this pattern before, the kind of rumor that never really dies. It just hides beneath layers of PR spin, legal threats, and glossy magazine spreads.
What could it be? A mystery for the ages.
The so-called Yacht Girl label had haunted the internet for years. It lived quietly in the shadows of Reddit threads, gossip forums, and old blind items whispered by anonymous insiders. But once Meghan married Prince Harry, that label got scrubbed clean. It was officially dismissed as sexist nonsense, pushed by bitter royal watchers with too much time and too little evidence. For a while, it worked. Most people did move on, until now. Because when those new yacht photos hit the web, they didn't just spark gossip, they reignited a rumor that had been buried alive. Suddenly, even the skeptics started asking questions. People who once rolled their eyes at the story were now saying, wait, what if?
Reminder, Prince Harry married a talentless Soho house named Meghan Markle. And I've seen this before, but I have to admit.
Meanwhile, the longtime believers felt vindicated, like their years of digging had finally paid off. Old clips resurfaced, podcasts rehashed timelines, and YouTube flooded with before the royal wedding exposés pulling millions of views. The algorithm had switched sides. It wasn't protecting Meghan anymore, it was profiting off her.
Today, Suits actress Meghan Markle married some unemployed dude who still lives with his grandma.
And then came the avalanche of details. So-called industry insiders began dropping vague hints about names. Powerful men supposedly linked to those old luxury gatherings.
Exposed her relationship with Prince Andrew, her sexual relationship with Prince Andrew.
Suddenly, people were digging up every piece of her early Hollywood timeline, piecing together a version of Meghan that looked more ambitious than innocent. Always networking, always chasing influence, always just one invitation away from another door opening.
It was planned from the beginning. She denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on it.
And those old posts from her blog, The Tig? They didn't help her case either. Once seen as harmless lifestyle content, they started to feel like something else entirely. Subtle PR, coded elegance masking deeper ambition.
Buckingham Palace are still covering for them. And what will it take? Will it take something to be exposed that is so terrible that they will actually talk about it?
Meghan had written about dreamy summer escapes and exclusive European invitations, the kind of invites you don't find on Craigslist. To her critics, it suddenly didn't look like gossip anymore.
Because Meghan Markle, apparently her goal was to snatch Prince Andrew. But of course, at the time, there was no way she was going to get through Sarah Ferguson.
It looked like a question no one wanted to answer. The story her team had spent years dismissing as a misogynistic lie now sat there, glowing under the harsh light of public curiosity, not as a confirmed truth, but as an inconvenient shadow that just wouldn't fade.
People in Montecito, they are billionaires, they're superstars, and they don't like publicity. They live in Montecito to avoid photographers, and they believe that Harry and Meghan, with their pretty obvious pursuit of publicity, are spoiling the privacy of Montecito.
And just when everyone thought the chaos couldn't get any louder, Meghan made the move that shocked everyone the most. She said nothing. Total silence. When a scandal breaks, the Hollywood playbook is simple. Deny it, post a quote about truth, blame the press, or drop a cryptic Instagram story about resilience.
Why? Why the cover-up when it's so obvious?
But Meghan? Not a word. No statement from Archewell. No carefully worded Instagram caption. Not even a recycled "Stay Strong" post. Just complete icy silence.
Another big revelation was that Meghan said that she and Harry actually got married 3 days before the royal wedding. Great, now I feel like a fool for waking up at 5 a.m. to watch two married people get married.
And in today's world, silence doesn't look classy. It looks strategic. It looks suspicious. Because when a story is false, the pushback is immediate. You correct it, you call your lawyer, you make noise. Especially when it strikes right at the heart of your image. That's what made this so strange. Meghan's entire brand, built on empathy, activism, and empowerment, was under attack. And she said absolutely nothing.
Build electric cars, he's going to Mars. Why is he even involving himself with Twitter? It would be like if the Prince of England gave it all up just to marry an actor from Suits.
People noticed. Even her loudest defenders noticed. The lifestyle influencers, feminist writers, and royal escape podcasters who used to sing her praises suddenly went quiet. Awkwardly quiet. Nobody rushed to her defense, because honestly, how could they? How do you spin that kind of imagery when your entire brand is about charity, compassion, and breaking barriers? How do you explain yacht photos when your story has always been about being the outsider who worked her way up from nothing?
She is an absolute user of the media. She uses every conceivable way to try and play the victim and score points.
To the online crowd, you can't. You just can't. And that's why the silence became deafening, because if those photos weren't real, wouldn't she shut it down instantly, loudly, legally? Instead, her silence became the story. The internet ran wild. Memes, reels, and reaction videos flooded every corner of social media. TikTok detectives, gossip YouTubers, Reddit threads. It was endless. And without a single denial, the tone shifted from gossip to belief. People started whispering, maybe this isn't just rumor.
Why is Meghan Markle still being protected? Andrew's ready to leak the entire thing along with Sarah Ferguson, because Fergie allegedly reached out to Meghan Markle for help now that they've lost the titles. But Meghan Markle, being the narcissist psycho that she is, that she discards people, she discards relationships, she doesn't understand the principle that you should never burn bridges.
Behind the scenes, though, it wasn't calm at all. Insiders claimed Meghan was furious, making calls, sending emails, and begging her team to contain the fire before it spread any further. Some even said she reached out to media allies, pleading for positive coverage about her charity work, her podcast, anything to drown out the noise. But it was too late. The wildfire had already taken hold.
That's what Harry wrote in his book Spare. At this point in time, I really have to question his mental acuity. How stupid is this man that he actually believes it? Or is it that he wanted to believe?
Colin Jost's punchline wasn't just a joke anymore. It was the spark that set everything ablaze. It gave the public permission to laugh, to question, to dig. And once a public figure becomes a punchline, there's no going back. The narrative starts spinning faster than any PR team can control. Because in Hollywood, silence doesn't protect you, it feeds the beast. And this time, that beast had Meghan Markle's name written all over it. Meghan, once hailed as the glamorous, modern face of empowerment, had suddenly become the internet's favorite meme.
Said, let us have an end to this debate about what makes a good man at B1.
There you go.
You can use that.
Good knowledge.
You can use that.
That's the part. That's the part we're editing out of this interview. Boy, right there. All right.
Very similar to this experience.
Unlike what?
That's right. You carry on. You were doing great.
No, you're doing great.
Overnight, TikTok edits, YouTube roasts, and Instagram reels were dissecting her every move. Her once inspiring quotes about strength and independence were now being stitched over alleged yacht clips, turning motivation into mockery. Even her most loyal fans couldn't spin it fast enough. The tone had flipped, and Meghan was now trending, for all the wrong reasons. And then Hollywood started whispering. Word spread through industry circles that something had shifted.
She has to blame her own choices, her own preferences, and blame it on others because she doesn't have the balls or the ovaries to admit that that's how she likes it.
A few studios were allegedly rethinking upcoming projects, and brands quietly hit pause on partnerships. Not because Meghan wasn't famous enough, but because she suddenly looked unpredictable, hard to manage, a risk. And in an industry where image is power, her stock had dropped overnight. PR insiders knew what was happening. There's one golden rule in Hollywood. You can't go viral for the wrong reason and expect your career to stay the same.
Harry says, how do you explain to someone who just started dating that they have to curtsy to your own grandmother?
How do you explain that you bow to your grandmother and that you will need to curtsy, especially to an American? Like, that's weird.
Maybe just tell her that your grandmother is the queen and you're in the royal family.
Once the internet turns your name into a punchline, the damage hits faster than any crisis team can respond. While Meghan scrambled behind the curtain, Harry found himself shoved into the spotlight. He looked blindsided, caught in a scandal he probably never saw coming. Because this wasn't just her problem anymore, it was their brand. And suddenly, every headline had his face right next to hers, under captions like Duke of Regret, Brutal. Royal watchers claimed Harry had gone unusually quiet, skipping events, dodging Zoom calls, staying out of sight when the couple needed unity the most.
Had they had these standards like 40 years ago, Meghan Markle would have not been anywhere near anybody. She wouldn't have been allowed anywhere near the royals. But because of what the state that the royal family is in, she was able to sneak in her way.
One palace source even whispered, "He looks like a man realizing the fairy tale came with fine print." That line spread like wildfire. Critics who once called Harry naive now went for the jugular. Online commentators painted him as the man who traded his titles, his family, and his country for a dream that may have never been real. They called it the ultimate plot twist in the Sussex saga.
Oh my God, I can't even. These two, Meghan and Harry, are the worst.
Behind the scenes, sources say that United Front was cracking. Meghan was fighting to keep control of the narrative, while Harry's silence only made the speculation worse. The world that once cheered for their love story was now questioning everything, and the fairy tale image was starting to look more like a staged production unraveling in real time. Reports are swirling that Harry's been spending more and more time alone, pulling back from strategy meetings, staying quiet, maybe even rethinking everything. Insiders claim he's no longer as involved in the PR chess game Meghan's still trying to play.
A woman who destroyed her in-laws' family, whose own family doesn't like her, whose the in-laws obviously don't like her, the public doesn't like her. She's stuck because she was an actress who became a real princess, who wants to be an actress again, but has to continue to pretend to be a real princess.
And while she's reportedly fighting tooth and nail to steer the narrative, Harry's gone silent, distant even. Some say he looks exhausted, others whisper he's resentful, because there's only so long you can block out the noise before it starts sounding like the truth. But here's the real sting. This was never just about a yacht. It was about illusion. Meghan Markle didn't simply marry into royalty.
I've already settled it for myself, so flattery and criticism go down the same drain, and I'm quite free.
She executed one of the boldest rebrands pop culture has ever seen. From struggling actress to global humanitarian, from suitcase girl to duchess, from lifestyle blogger to self-proclaimed cultural icon. Every inch of her transformation was deliberate, carefully crafted, polished, and served to the world as the perfect success story. Until now, because Colin Jost's joke wasn't the beginning of a scandal, it was the crack in the mask.
Harry found out about it and Harry's disgusted. I don't even think he found out about it. I think he finally accepted what he didn't want to accept before.
The moment the internet decided to look closer, to test whether the fairy tale still held up. And when those old photos surfaced, everything Meghan had buried deep came rushing back into the light. The curated friendships, the sudden vanishing of old allies, the networking that once seemed smart now looked strategic.
What is the #1 question that mystifies scientists? #1 question.
Mystifies science. Is there life on another planet?
Oh no. Why does Meghan Markle make her own pretzel bags? They don't know why.
That's interesting. She takes it from one bag and puts it in another bag.
It's another bag.
And that confuses people.
This, we're just gonna put into a different bag.
People started connecting the dots, comparing timelines, rewatching old clips, digging into forgotten blog posts, and the picture forming wasn't one of reinvention anymore. It looked like reinvention with erasure, a clean rewrite of anything that didn't fit the empowerment storyline. And for many, that became the real scandal, because it was no longer about yachts, champagne, or gossip. It was about control, about the careful editing of a life story that didn't quite match the brand's glossy image. Meghan's power wasn't built on transparency, it was built on aesthetics, the soft lighting, the buzzwords, the PR-approved soundbites about kindness and growth.
That Harry and Meghan met on a blind date. Here's how they planned it. Meghan was like, I'll be wearing a blue shirt, and Harry was like, I'll be Prince Harry.
But when the raw, unfiltered moments break through that perfection, everything starts shaking. The filters can't save it, and the audience stops seeing the Duchess. They start seeing the person behind the performance. And here's the part that cuts the deepest. Once the internet turns you into a meme, it owns you.
Turns out Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will still get paid millions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing.
No matter how powerful your PR team, no matter how polished your comeback, you can't control the punchline once it belongs to the crowd. No PR team, no glossy interview, no perfectly edited podcast can undo the sting of viral ridicule. Once the internet laughs, it sticks. It lives forever in comment sections, reaction videos, and endless threads that never fade away.
Meghan Markle has ruined your workout regime. Is this true? If so,
yes, she has. She went to a yoga place, which is my yoga place. But now that she went there, everyone's gonna wanna go there.
The memes outlive the apologies, and the internet always remembers. Now Meghan isn't being praised as the brave outsider anymore. She's being redefined. Not as the fearless royal rebel or the misunderstood humanitarian, but as the ultimate brand strategist whose biggest product might have always been herself. And as old receipts keep crawling back into the light, that product's shine is fading fast.
She was in the most powerful position in the world, where she could have represented her culture, set a new beauty standard, or, set the standards and say to people, this is okay.
The fairy tale is starting to look less like romance and more like a masterclass in image management, an experiment in control, perfection, and power. Because when your entire story depends on being flawless and your past says otherwise, the contradictions eventually break through the surface. And when they do, no title, no publicist, and no podcast can stop the fallout. The Yacht Girl rumor was never the real story. It was just the spark. The real question is,
ChatGPT has released a new voice assistant feature inspired by Scarlett Johansson's AI character in Her, which I've never bothered to watch because without that body, what's the point of listening?
How far will someone go to erase their past? And how fast will the internet dig it back up? Meghan built her empire on being the misunderstood outsider, but now, critics say the world might be understanding her a little too well. So what do you think? Has Meghan finally lost control of the story she built? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because this story is only getting bigger.